Hello and welcome to another episode of Historic Hindsight. I'm John, that's Tom, and today we're gambling again.
That's right, Johnny. We're both in our Miami Vices. We got our gambling attires on. We are going to a casino that got bombed.
That what?
And we're going to tell you the story of a casino
Wait.
that got bombed.
That
And not only did it get
threats
bombed,
on
Johnny, it got bombed by the most elaborate of bombs that has ever bombed in the existence of bombing, I guess, is the best way to... You've seen the movies. Johnny, you've seen the movies?
Yeah.
Where they have
of course, yeah.
like, the bomb,
and
it's got like all the countermeasures to the bomb. Like, you can't just cut this wire. You got to do this, and you got to do that. If you shake it too
you gotta
hard,
cut the
it'll
right
like...
wire, yeah.
All the,
the green wire.
All the countermeasures. This is a legit bomb that had all those countermeasures. We're talking about the Harvey Resort and Hotel bombing of 1980. This is
1980?
1980, yeah.
And that's the most sophisticated bomb that we've... I'm guessing not, obviously not military. This is people's
civilian.
homemade
This
stuff,
is
garage bomb type stuff. This isn't, I mean...
Yeah, obviously.
The military has better bombs, but...
Yeah, this isn't... Yeah.
And, okay... And they bombed a casino.
He bombs a casino. Let's do a background check, Johnny. We'll do a little background here. The main primary bomber, he is a mastermind of intrigue and mystery and all kinds of fun things. His name is John Burgess Sr. He's going to be the designer and mastermind of the bomb, and his background is filled with fantasy and mystery. He is a James Bond man's man or made it all up. Pretty sure he probably just made it all up.
I don't know. He made a pretty cool bomb, it sounds like. So maybe he also had a pretty cool past. But what's he making up?
Yeah, the background I'm going to tell you is based on what he said during interviews.
A little autobiography.
So take a little
from a guy who might want some attention.
Yeah, so take this all with a grain of salt. Allegedly, during World War II, he flew for the German Luftwaffe as a U.S. spy. So.
Oh.
Wrap your head around that. He was spying for the U.S. by flying for the German Luftwaffe. He's going to get shot down by the Soviets on the Eastern Front. He's going to get captured as a POW, sent off to the Gulag, where he was sentenced to 25 years in the Gulag. But he's only going to serve 8 because he gets paroled with all the war ends. And there's this big, massive parole
Gulags are naturally forgiving.
Done.
Yeah,
sure. Or, well, that's allegedly what happens. And I say all that. After that, after he gets, not deported, but paroled off the Gulag, he immigrates to the United States, where he opens up a landscaping business, and it's a very successful multi-million-dollar landscaping business. And last little bit is the only part that we can actually verify. He did in fact immigrate to the United States. He did in fact have a landscaping business, and he did in fact make millions of dollars. The problem is everything
else. So
else.
much money in landscaping. That's just stupid.
Can't confirm any of the other stuff. Obviously, the spy.
Well, he's a spy.
U.S.
Yeah, you can't confirm spy. They're not going to just give over a list of who they hired to go infiltrate the German Luftwaffe and then fly planes as an American. But
there's no record of him flying for the German
intelligence
Luftwaffe.
gathering? Is he going to?
Yeah, I don't know what he was.
Are they going to learn about how the planes work? What?
I don't know.
All right. Well, that's probably
either way.
Anyway, so.
No record of him flying for the Luftwaffe. No
record
of him being shot down. No record of him going to the Gulag. None of that.
Immigrant who started a landscaping business and became successful, and then started gambling. Why?
Yep. Touch of a gambling problem. A touch of a gambling problem.
There it is.
He likes to go to the Harvey Resort Hotel and Casino, which it has various different names to various different areas. The Wheelhouse Casino, I think, is what it's called when he's gambling there. Either way, it's all owned by Harvey. It's still Harvey's blankety blank blank blank, whatever it just happens. The name changes to. It doesn't much matter. Anyways, he goes to Harvey's. He admittedly loses $750,000 at Harvey's over the course of a few years, prompting him to decide that I'm going to get all my money back, not by gambling, but by building a bomb and holding the casino hostage.
And then what? They're going to give him
a ransom, I guess?
Money, and then he's going to just get away. And, well, I guess it's 1980, I guess, so maybe
it's a little bit easier to do that.
But that, I mean, there's still...
Not a great plan.
Casinos
There's some
have
holes.
cameras
There's some holes
and stuff
here.
then still. It's
okay.
Oh,
yeah. This is
all right, but that's what he's doing. He's going to threaten the casino with a bomb.
We're going to threaten the casino with a bomb. On to the bombing itself, Johnny. On August 27th, 1980, 2 men are going to pull up into Harvey's Resort which is at State Line, Nevada, in a white van marked IBM. Ironically enough, this white van is owned by Burgess here, old Johnny. Didn't change that.
He didn't rent a van?
A little bit. Yeah, probably should have rented a van.
I mean,
but that's not
he
even
did
the
lose
van's not how he gets caught either.
Maybe he didn't have the money for it, or
yeah. The van is not how he even gets caught. So I just point out that it was his van that he owned. But in reality, this is as much of a story of successful FBI as it is a successful bombing. Pull up in a van marked IBM. They pull out a big-ass silver box. There's 2 boxes, a big box and then probably another one like this that sits on top of it that are all connected. They go up to the front desk and say, hey, we're here to drop off a printer, copy machine, printer. And the guy at the front desk goes,
new ones, probably newfangled. I was big.
He goes, I don't get paid enough to fuck with this, so take it up to the second floor. I guess I don't know.
I'll bet they had a clipboard, and I'll bet they had on like company vests or shirts or whatever, a little collar, and you just act like you know what you're doing,
and that's
all.
You
don't need to be somewhere, and you can go wherever you want.
So they take it up
fails,
to
go get a ladder.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Those TikTok guys that get into like everywhere with a ladder. Yeah,
you can do anything.
You do anything.
Invest in a ladder.
Yeah. Anyways, they get up to the second floor. They drop the copy machine off. They start flipping. There's 28 switches on the top box. There's like just 28 little switches.
God, copiers are so complicated.
Flipping a bunch of these switches and then walking away, leaving an envelope on top of the copy machine.
The invoice,
several hours,
obviously, for the delivery.
Yep, several hours go by, and you finally get a manager up there who's like, what the hell is this? And then some random note. It's a copy machine that just got dropped off. The guy's like, we didn't order a copy machine. And Johnny, they had just went through, the suspicious package protocol by the FBI, like the train. Remember that was a big thing, like if you, in the 80s and 90s, there's always like this USPS, like don't open a suspicious package thing. Yeah.
They did. It was like the day of pipe bombs, that people would deliver pipe bombs to mailboxes or whatever, and you'd get blown to bits, or that was like the big scare.
That was a big scare. So they'd just gone through that training, and the security at the hotel thought that the envelope was the suspicious package, not the fucking massive copy machine. So they hide behind the copy machine and poke at the package, thinking that it might be anthrax. It might be a bomb itself. Who knows? It's the envelope as they're poking with it. Finally, somebody gets enough sense and be like, all right, it's not clearly, there's not going to be a bomb in the envelope. So they open up the envelope, and inside the envelope is a bunch of instructions as to what the hell the copy machine is. They say it is a very elaborate bomb filled with 1,000 pounds of dynamite. So that'll be enough to make some damage.
A lot of dynamite.
And then it says in warning, don't try to defuse this bomb because there are multiple pathways for this bomb to go off. You have to depress certain switches in a very specific order to disarm the bomb. And if you don't do it that way, the bomb will explode.
Down, left, right.
If you try to open the box in any way, every screw is wired into a detonator. So if you unscrew it, disconnects, bomb goes boom. There is a mercury switch that's on it's a mercury switch. So if it moves to the left, right,
one of those no tipping things.
No tipping. Yep.
Like
it'll explode. Same with lifting it up. It'll explode. So good luck, fuckers. There's like 5 or 6 different countermeasures to de-arming this bomb.
And it's on the second floor.
Second floor,
so you can't just put one of those big old steel things and bolt it to the ground and blow it up and have a safe detonation.
Not going to be able to do that.
They would have done, I imagine. Is it on a countdown timer or
no countdown? No countdown.
So,
it's just armed.
If they wanted to,
they could just leave it there forever and just
leave it.
Just don't bump it.
Put some stanchions around it and just
strap it down
and something, and then and then it's just there.
Yeah.
And sure, all of your casino goers have a threat of a bomb going off because a mercury decayed something or did something or a switch came loose, but you don't have to deal with this ransom note.
It's a problem for later. Now, after describing what the hell the bomb was, the ransom note says, hey, I want $3 million to be paid at a specific location, which the ransom note details where they want the money to be paid. And once the money's paid, you'll get another set of instructions on how to disarm the bomb.
$3 million?
Yeah, $3 million. That's it.
Does he know how much casinos make?
I don't think. That's barely covering his losses. Hour. Yeah, that's barely covering his losses.
Well, especially assuming he has to pay somebody.
And it's more than a one-man crew. Yeah, because he's got at least 2 men that drove in and dropped the bomb off that we know of.
Is it like that movie where the where the guy has to hire a fake family and pays like the kid $10,000, the woman like
It might be,
$50,000.
yeah.
It's something like that. They're doing it for like a couple $100 or whatever.
You're getting paid?
What?
Yeah, it's that. It's definitely that. Now, the FBI gets called onto the scene. Police get called onto the scene, obviously, and the FBI's first go here with Harvey, the casino owner. He says, "I'm not paying that ransom, so figure out what you got to do, but I'm not paying the ransom." It's just fine. They got insurance. Fuck it. What's the worst? What's the worst going to happen? So the FBI's
the building, right? Obviously, they cleared the building, and they weren't.
Yeah, sure.
They were just standing around the bomb, right? Talking.
Yeah. Oh, I
you.
guarantee you.
Their little brown suits and everything. Just like, what are we gonna do with this bomb? See?
Yeah.
I think that's how they.
I guarantee you that's their first thought. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. So their first plan is, all right, why don't we just go meet up at the drop-off money location? We'll pretend like we're dropping off money. We'll arrest the dude and force him to tell us how to disarm the bomb, which isn't a bad plan.
The old money in a duffel bag.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fake money in a duffel bag.
Fake money in a duffel bag, yeah.
Hey, how many duffel bags do they need?
So if it's all $100 bills, this box here, you could probably get $1 million in this box here. That's okay. $1 million is 10 stacks of 1,000 like 1,000 bills. Like each brick of $100 bills is $10,000. There's $1,000 in each strap. Each strap is like 200 bills, I think, or 100 bills. So do the math. It's not that.
So big hockey bag.
So a good sized gym bag. A hockey bag, yeah. Big goalie bag, you'll fit $3 million if it's all in hundreds.
I'm sorry.
If it's 20s, it's a big different story. But if it's in the hundreds,
of course, yeah, it's gonna be 5 times that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do the hundreds. So I'm asking for $10 million at least.
Yeah,
at
right.
least.
I want 3 big duffel bags full of cash.
I mean, from a freaking casino, and you're going to risk life in prison.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At the very least,
right?
Yeah. Yeah. At the very least, yeah.
And you're going to do that for $3 million? Was it worth a lot more back then? What was $3 million in?
Well, you Google it while I continue talking here, Johnny. So, but the problem is, Johnny Burgess, he wasn't very clear about where he wanted the money to be dropped off. So the FBI wasted the entire afternoon going to where they think the location for the drop-off point is. It's not. There's nobody there because that's not where it was supposed to be. So even even if Harvey decided to pay the ransom. Be very specific about where you want that.
First off, that's about $11 million in today's money.
It's still not much.
Not enough for life in prison, especially with in this economy. Second of all, what he gave such poor instruction. Why would you make the drop-off spot a riddle? Why would it be hard to determine where you want your $3 million dropped off?
Yep. Well,
that seems like it should be a very specific, at this intersection in the green trash can next to the real trash can. We're going to put it in a fake one that I just put there.
Yeah.
It's at this intersection, and it'll be there from 3 to 7 p.m. or whatever on this day.
Well, he doesn't do that.
He just says, he gives them some little riddle to follow, and the FBI can't figure it out and go to the wrong spot.
They go to the wrong spot. Jesus. They sure do, Johnny. So when they get back on the afternoon of the 27th, they decide to, all right, well, let's see if this bomb's even a real bomb. So they bring in an X-ray machine, and sure shit, yep, 1,000. That will definitely, it looks like 1,000 pounds of dynamite. That is legit. So they spend the rest of the afternoon, these are their guys in brown suits, looking at the bomb going, what the fuck are we going to do with this?
Yeah.
Because you're right.
So, guys,
you can't easily put, you're on the second floor, so even if you put a metal container over it and try to detonate
it doesn't matter.
You still got the floor underneath that's going to be a problem.
It's going to be,
Yeah, there's a problem here. But so the FBI come up with their brilliant plan here, Johnny. Their brilliant plan is, listen, that smaller box on top of the big box, that's probably the brains of that bomb. So if we were able to dislodge that real quick from the bomb, maybe it will disarm it by just taking out the brains. They're going to give a lobotomy to this bomb. That's their plan. Because they found all the countermeasures that the thing said was active. Like when they looked at it with the X-ray, they're like, yeah, these are countermeasures do in fact exist.
They got electric going. They got all the connections. And so they think that when they knock the head off of it, of this bomb, that they will beat electricity. They'll be faster than the electricity, the electric signal, which is just instantaneous as soon as there's a disconnection.
Yeah, Johnny, their idea is a shaped charge. So they're gonna fight this bomb with their own little explosive.
They're gonna shoot a cannon at it?
Pretty much, yeah. They're shooting a very direct shaped charge onto the top box, hoping that that'll knock the top box off and disarm the bomb before the bomb goes off. That is the brilliance of the They had a whole fucking day to think about this, and that's what they came up with.
And what they came up with was basically somebody get a bat and knock the head off this robot that we don't understand. That's essentially what they did.
So, Johnny, on the 28th, they get everybody out of the building. They get everybody out of the surrounding buildings.
At least they thought about that.
Yeah,
so
they just in case. Everybody gets out of the building. Everybody gets out of the surrounding buildings. Just in case it doesn't work. They set up their shaped charge, and they aim it right at the top box. And this is what happens. Color me surprised that didn't work.
I mean, what did you think was going to happen?
It's like 1,000 pounds of dynamite just boom. Surprisingly, the building's still intact. I mean, it does cause $17 million worth of damage and break some glass and other various buildings around it. But I mean, the building's still up there.
Waves, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I mean, that's got to be. Vegas they're near a fault. They get earthquakes and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah,
so their buildings are built to some sort of earthquake code or whatever. So I'm guessing it's got to be just mountains of concrete and steel that these buildings are made from. But impressive it stood. So $17 million.
$17 million worth of damage to the hotel. Now comes the manhunt for the perpetrators, which comes up with a whole lot of nothing.
I'm sorry? They can't.
The FBI is very good at solving crimes. Keep in mind, the average, police, let alone federal agencies, police agencies are fuck all bad about, predicting, but coming up with, ending crime, finding crime, finding the criminals, finding perpetrators. It's like...
Oh, they solve
single
like a couple of percent of
it's single digits of investigation. So... It doesn't take very long for Harvey to put up a $200,000 reward for any information coming to the arrest of anybody who was involved in this bombing procedures here. Mm-hmm. And Johnny, lesson to be learned is don't involve your family members, especially children, into your illicit affairs, because that's what old John Burgess did. He has his sons participate in this, in which one of his sons tells a girlfriend at the time, "Hey, my dad's the bomber." And the girlfriend shrugs it off, it's no big, whatever. I don't believe you. You're full of shit half the time, anyways.
I mean, God, he came from his dad, who lied about an entire stolen valor to the max.
Yes.
And so he comes from a long line of just liars and thieves. Well,
and she doesn't
attempted.
She doesn't think anything of it. They break up. She starts dating a new boyfriend, and when they see on the news, hey, $200,000 for the reward. And she goes, holy fuck, my ex-boyfriend said that his dad did it, so why don't we just turn his dad in and maybe we can get some money? So
at that point, you at least have probable cause to call in because it's essentially a tip line you're calling into, and then if you end up being right, then I assume you get the reward. Maybe.
So FBI goes on knocking on the door. They get to the boyfriend and his brother, and they instantly flip on Dad. They're like, "Dad did it. Dad, immunity deal. I don't go to jail, and if I tell you Dad did it." So
they're the kid in school that goes up and tells the teacher that their dad's selling pot or whatever. It's like one of those where it's like, "Oh, my daddy, he sells pot. I've heard about that. Sells pot
all the time." So in 1981, John Burgess Sr., he goes to jail in exchange for no prison time for the brothers. They don't go to jail, but he goes to jail. He's going to be sentenced to life in prison without parole. But Johnny, there are still the two drivers, because the sons weren't the drivers that dropped off the bomb. There's actually still two more. So John Burgess and the brothers, they all start ratting on each other like one would expect this mastermind criminals to do.
Yep.
So there is a Willis Brown and his father-in-law, Terry Brown. These are the two that actually delivered the bomb. Willis is going to rat on his father-in-law, Terry, for a reduced prison sentence, because, that's...
My God.
What you expect that to happen, and both of them are going to get sentenced to lesser
everybody keep
charges.
in mind that this is the generation that was raised right and raised with respect for their elders and all that bullshit.
Look
at what that gave them. Nothing.
And Johnny, the final conspirator.
Myth.
The final conspirator is the letter that was written, the bomb instructions, all that fun stuff, the payoff location instructions. It was written by a female. And so the FBI is like, I don't believe that any of you guys wrote this. Your handwritings don't match. Know? So who is the handwriting? So who is the writer of the note? And they find a Ellen Williams, because again, everybody's turning on her, and she gets charged in 1983, but it's like a plea bargain kind of thing. You wrote a letter.
She wrote a note like this.
She's the one at the very bottom of the line going, "You guys are getting paid for this." Like that's her. She's nothing. We don't care about her.
Yeah, my whole thing would have been like, I thought this dude was trying to make a movie or something. I thought it was a movie prop. I didn't know what he was doing. He told me to write a letter. I wrote a letter. Like I thought
that's all she would have had to do.
A thing. I literally just wrote what he told me to write down. He said he needed a woman's handwriting.
We got our aftermath report. Are you ready? Aftermath report. We usually start with casualties, but there's none. There's nobody got hurt. Nobody got killed.
None.
Which is good.
Yeah, which is good. That's great.
$17 million worth of damage that all got paid off by insurance because this is before the whole. This is before the whole. If your property got destroyed by an act of terrorism thing, it's not covered. So that's before that because
Wait, there's that. That's a stipulation now.
Yeah, read your insurance policy there, Johnny. We'll say if your house got damaged in the act of a terrorist attack, we're not covering it.
All right, so they're taking that act of God thing, which used to mean nature, and now it means act of God based. Anybody else's God
Super
who decides
to
terrorize your business. Yeah. We're not insurance. Insurance is useless. I hate.
Yep.
It's a scam.
The FBI in America. Still to this day report that this is the most elaborate bomb ever that they've come across.
Like sophisticated,
the countermeasures,
sophisticated,
the countermeasures and the countermeasures. All that shit you see in Hollywood that makes you think that happens all the time. Like this is like the only recorded instance of
the one that
actually happened.
They're all based on this bomb.
They're all based on this bomb.
All the Hollywood people saw that and they're like, oh, I guess that's what a bomb is. And so, but even then, it's usually just wires that with a countdown thing that you have to cut the right wire and figure that out. It's not if you lift it, if you move it, if you touch it, if you knock the brains off of it, it's all going to blow up.
The FBI have a copy of this bomb that they use for training purposes. They're at LaGuardia, which I hope that the training purposes, can you guys figure out a better way to do this than a fucking shape charge? We'll take an explosive and point it at an explosive and see what happens.
I was wondering if the training on this was just a basically target practice where they shoot it out from like a building across the street or something.
You might be right, Johnny. John Burgess, he's going to die in prison 16 years and 1 day after the bombing. So, it happens.
Okay.
Harvey Gross, the owner of the casino, he's going to die just
he was old anyway.
He's going to die in 1983 at the age of 78. And I could not find record of the $200,000 reward if that was ever paid out. I'm going to go ahead and assume it was not because
it was probably
the FBI and people work.
I'm sure there was some stipulation that if you had any sort of
romantic involvement,
relationship with the people who were involved, that the reward is null and void and all that BS.
Yep, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So that's the most elaborate bomb that the FBI has ever done. Another great example of the FBI and how much they care for us because they're super good at their job.
That's it for this week in Historic Hindsight. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review, and join us next week when we talk about another dead president.